Are you giving yourself permission to pause regularly, every day? Stay with me as I share with you a beautiful recipe that I found recently and how you can find ways of incorporating self care practices into your daily routine no matter how busy you are. I am Anindita, a functional medicine certified health coach and the host of this podcast, Nourish, Heal, Connect. I became a health coach in response to a health crisis in my family. Along the way, I learned many lessons in self-care and healing and came to realize that our mind and body are intricately connected and that one cannot be healed without the other. I embarked on a journey of self-discovery which transformed my life and led me to become a health coach. In this podcast, I share with you guided meditations, inspiring stories, and conversations to guide and support you in your own healing journey. So, if you're a busy mom struggling with high levels of stress, overwhelm, and guilt, with no time to take care of yourself, then this podcast is for you. I created this podcast to empower and inspire you to find more calm, positivity, and resilience in your life by increasing self-awareness, practicing self-compassion, and cultivating gratitude so that you can embrace the life you were meant to live. As women, we are natural caregivers and we tend to give of ourselves on a regular basis to our families, to our loved ones, and even the world at large. However, if we do not take out time on a regular basis to recharge and replenish, we often feel exhausted, depleted, and even burned out in the long run. Also, the other thing that has happened in today's world is that it has become really easy to take our health for granted. Because we lead such busy lives that we end up often ignoring the telltale signs of our body trying to send us a message, right? Trying to let us know when we need to slow down. It's happened to me, and I'm sure it happens to you from time to time, right? Because we are not really taught how to pay attention to our inner guidance system, our intuition, which includes our emotions and desires, right? Because for that, we need to take out the time to pause and listen so that we can move towards love, towards fulfillment, joy, and health. So our symptoms and illnesses are actually often an invitation in disguise, an invitation for us to slow down, to rest, and bring our attention back to the things that are truly important so that we do not put them off for some day, because the someday rarely comes, right? I'm sure you agree with me that someday when we have more time is a myth, because a lack of regular self-care and a consistent focus on creating good health, which is something that often falls into this category, that someday I will get to it when I have more time. And the other thing is that there are many different signs that we get from our bodies, right? Telling us, again, slow down, pay attention, start taking corrective action now so that, you don't end up with a bigger issue. So, for example, maybe you get a headache that comes and goes. Maybe you have unexplained weight loss or weight gain, right? So, some major weight changes. Maybe you get tired easily and rely on sugar or caffeine to get you through the day. Maybe you have memory or concentration problems. Maybe you have poor quality sleep or trouble staying asleep, right? It's okay if this happens once in a while, because of a lack of sleep of one particular night, next day when we feel a bit tired and groggy, maybe we didn't have enough water and that's why we have a headache which came. Maybe we were on a holiday and we put on a bit of weight, all that's quite normal and that's part of life. But you will know it's an issue if this keeps happening again and again and it has become chronic. And how do I know all this? It's very simple, because I was once in a place where I was starting to face a few minor health issues. This was way back in 2016, and it was because of a buildup of stressful years prior to that, right? Because we had extremely challenging years starting from 2013, which carried on for a while. And by 2016, I could sense that my body was struggling. And it was only by giving it the kind of care and attention that it deserved and needed that I was able to get back on track, or in a matter of 6 months, without having to resort to medication and without it having becoming worse. Whether it was skin dryness, whether it was hair fall, whether it was cold intolerance, many of the things that I had never faced before, I was facing at that time. That was the summer of 2016, right? But of course, I knew what I had to be done. I had trained myself to listen to my body. I was already training to be a functional medicine certified health coach. So I knew that this was something that was important and I knew what to do about it. So fortunately for me, I could take corrective action immediately before it became worse. And I got my health back on track. But again, it's not something that you can store and keep. It's something that you need to work on an ongoing basis. Because again, just like you, my academic life, my work life did not really teach me anything much about self-care. If anything, I got very different messages from popular media and the world at large, right? Because I have juggled professional role and I have been a mother, and it's usually the message that I got was I had to prove myself at the expense of my health. And it was only when I went through the struggles in my own life that I reconnected with myself and set in place a self-care practice that has sustained, that I've been able to sustain, and that's helping me to thrive, right? And one of the main reasons why many women develop chronic health conditions over a period of time is a lack of consistent self-care practice. And it all starts by asking yourself this question: how do I want to feel? That sets you off thinking in a very different manner as to what are the changes that you need to make, and how, based on how you want to feel. Whether you want to feel more energetic, whether you want to feel more productive, more joyful, it all starts there. Otherwise, what happens is that rather than asking for help and giving ourselves time to breathe, we fall into a pattern of self-neglect, right? We feel deprived, whether it's of companionship, whether it's for time, peace, love, attention, energy. We need to end this legacy of deprivation, because this is neither serving ourselves nor whom we love. And we often end up paying a heavy price in terms of our own health. And this is a pattern that I see time and time again in my coaching practice and in my social circles. So this is where we are talking about increasing our own level of self-awareness, starting with the question, how do I want to feel? And as you do this, you may want to add some follow-up questions. Questions like, if I took some time for myself, what would be the best thing that could happen? What would be the worst thing that could happen? How much time do I need realistically to take care of myself, and how often? How am I going to create this time? And what would I like to do with this time? So take out some time to jot down the answers that come to mind, because increasing awareness about your inner world is the key to making lasting changes. And if you haven't done so already, check out my earlier episodes on self-care, which is episode number 31 and episode number 32. They are about why you need to focus on self-care, what is it really, and why is it the best investment that you can make in your life, and how you can create a self-care plan that works. That's episode number 31 and 32. So coming back to giving yourself permission to pause, I came across this beautiful recipe on the website, The Women's Network, and I wanted to share it with you. So they sort of have put down this recipe, I think, which encapsulates the message I'm trying to get across to you today. So it's called the Permission Recipe, and it goes like this. Take 1 cup of self-love, mix with 2 tablespoons of self-worth, add 1 tablespoon of self-respect, a pinch of wildness, seasoned with your rebellious nature. Giving yourself permission to pause during a hectic, busy day is an act of self-love, self-compassion, and of course, self-care. It is about acknowledging and honoring the areas of your life which need your care and are crying for your attention. right? And there is a quiz that I have shared with you below, the Essential Self-Care Quiz, which will help you to figure out which are the areas of your life that need more attention. And the other thing that I want you to think about is rewording the way that you think about self-care today. So, for example, instead of saying, I need more time to myself, you might say, I need time to connect with myself, more uninterrupted time away from my husband and children, right? Something that allows me to do some things that make me feel good, energized, refreshed, whether it's a massage, whether it's a good book, or meeting a friend. Just by rephrasing our needs can help us feel less guilty and make us realize how truly important these times are. And one of the most effective and sustainable practices that I found over the years is to take regular mini breaks during my day. So no matter how hectic my day is, by making sure that I'm taking out time to pause at several times in the day, whether it's for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, it doesn't matter. As long as I'm doing that, it really helps to ground myself. It helps to keep my energy levels, high. It helps me to remain productive. And I'm going to share 5 ways that you can do that today, right? So these are my favorite ways, but you can find, any ways that work for you. But just make sure that you are, treating these times as sacred. You're honoring the commitments that you're making to yourself, right? So the times that you're taking out for your self-care is important, and you're of that time and your attention. So the first way that I would ask you to do this, of take a mini break in your day, is enjoy your favorite beverage, right? I'm sure that you have tea, coffee, green tea, some kind of beverage during the day. So if you can design one act of self-care during that time, you don't need to really carve out an extra time throughout the day. So just taking out 5 to 10 minutes to pay attention and savor your cup of tea or coffee can be really helpful. So noticing the aroma, the color, the taste of the beverage in your mouth, right? Just noticing and enjoying how you feel. So whether it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes, take out that time to enjoy your favorite beverage. The second way would be to write. Write down in a journal, like jot down your thought, download what's going on in your mind, even if you take out just a few minutes in your day. If it doesn't work for you, if writing is something that you do not really enjoy much, maybe you can start by doodling, sketching, or painting. The point is to do something that you can sustain on a regular basis. The third way would be reading. This is one of my favorite ways and of sort of taking mini breaks, and something that I do every single day. I do it multiple times throughout the day. You might stick to the morning or maybe the evening before you go to bed. It works even better if you are reading something that inspires and motivates you. And you can always choose to listen to an audible book or your favorite podcast, right? So the first one was was enjoying your favorite beverage. Second was writing. Third, reading. Fourth is doing nothing. Right? Do nothing. Put a timer for 5 minutes and simply be. Right? Look out of your window. Close your eyes for a few minutes. Breathe. Right? Just take out the time. Maybe do a few stretches, or maybe just do nothing. Right? Just simply be. Be a human being and not a human doing. Right? So that's the fourth way. And the fifth is switch off. Switch off from time to time. Switch off, set a daily time, a small amount of time, from your schedule for no electronic, social media or work, right? So, and at this time, what you can do is you can consider meditation, you can consider visualization, making art, taking a nap, or spending time in nature. But it's something that you do without any screens or gadgets, right? So these are the 5 ways. The first was enjoying your favorite beverage. Second was writing in your journal. Third was reading. Fourth, doing nothing. And fifth, switching off. But again, the important thing is to treat this time as sacred and schedule this time in your calendar, right? Make a commitment to yourself and remember to make this appointment with yourself non-negotiable. And that happens by reminding yourself that you're worthy of your own time and attention. So take this time to replenish yourself rather than feeling guilty or selfish. I think Maya Angelou had said it so beautifully, right? She had said, "My mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style." If you like this podcast episode, make sure to subscribe to it on your favorite platform and leave a review on iTunes. It would help me to connect with more women like you and get this message across.